Hello, 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 and welcome to another segment of the DrStem show. I'm so excited about my guest today because she's one of the 20 bestseller authors that we had last year on the Bounce Back book. Yeah. Oh, look at her. She got her book and I forgot to put mine here. Oh, welcome to the show, Miss Tammy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on here with you today. It's a pleasure to spend this time with you. I'm excited about being here. Can't wait to see what's all in store for me.
I am so excited to have you. So, just a little bit, let me just tell the people who you are. And then, yes, I want you to expand on that. Let me tell you, she's not just a bestseller, one of our bestsellers, because she also has, work in books of her own. But Miss TammyRenee is a speaker, she's an author, she's a podcaster. And my best title is she's a personal discovery mentor. She is a distinguished transformational speaker and captivated, audiences with her stories and also her speeches. And if you want, I had to research her, even though I worked with her last year as one of the authors of the Bounce Back book, one, which was our very first book. I had to Google her and I saw all of this stuff that she has done in the speeches, especially on TikTok. So I want to, let the audiences know that they can find you in all those places as well. Tell us a little bit more about you, Miss TammyRenee.
All right, so like you said, thank you so much. I am a speaker. I consider myself a transformational speaker with a dose of motivation and inspiration.
Yes.
And I speak from my stories, my experience. Also, as a personal discovery mentor, I help people go inside and dig into those intrinsic skills that we have, that motivational drive, willpower, resilience, all that good stuff that motivates us that we keep locked in. So I help you bring that out as a personal discovery mentor. I love working with entrepreneurs and I love working with women. I also have a Facebook group. It's called Game Changers Networking and Collaboration. It's on Facebook. And that's something I just started this year. And it's been really good as far as building that network so that you can collaborate. Because, we're in a year of collaboration, right?
Yes.
That one-on-one by yourself is kind of old school, and
Mhm.
it's now time to collaborate with each other. So I'm a big component believer on collaboration. Some other things that I'm working on starting to put some retreats together, really focused on entrepreneurs for these retreats. I used to own a retreat business, but now I want to do it a little different where I'm bringing in entrepreneurs and we're focusing on life work balance. Because as entrepreneurs, we just work, right? Everything is work. And so when you hear a lot about work-life balance, you hear about it in the professional sense, in a corporate sense. You don't really hear about it for entrepreneurs. But as an entrepreneur, we can incorporate our personal life with our work and still get that work-life balance. So that's kind of where I work with entrepreneurs and creative brainstorming.
Awesome, awesome. I would be amiss if I don't say I love the quote that is behind you. There is no time like now to see your future in front of your eyes. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit more about that quote.
So that quote comes from my poetry book. My poetry book is Feed Your Soul. I mean, Food for Thought, Feed Your Soul. And I wrote that poetry in that book during the pandemic. And I didn't even know I was going to write a book. I just did what was I was told to do. Just go through my healing. And with that, I did poetry, and it's all introspective poetry. So when it came time for the book, someone just says, well, all that poetry you wrote already, go ahead, pull that out and make your book. So it's on Amazon under Amazon.com/authors/ TammyRenee. And you can actually find that book and this book on my page. But yes, it's poetry that I wrote during the pandemic while I was going through my deep healing. You know, sometimes we think we're healed and we go on about life and we swear up and down we're happy, but we're just moving through life. So when I went through the second part of healing, it was different. I had to dig deep. So the poetry is written in a way where, yes, it's my journey, but you can read it and implement it into your journey to help you go introspective into yourself.
Okay. Okay. That is awesome. You know, I was very excited last year when you decided to be part of our authors because we had 20 of us that wrote the first bounce back book, and it was titles From Setbacks to Comebacks. Why should people pick up the book and flip to TammyRenee's chapter?
Why should you read my story? All right. So my story, it does go back to the pandemic, which is interesting enough. A lot happened during those times, right? The
Happened.
whole world changed,
Yes.
really. The whole world changed.
Yes.
Well, my story is about resilience. It's about preservation. It's about not letting obstacles stop you. So I was on a journey of interacting with people after being isolated for so long. And then the pandemic hit, which was like, okay, I can't interact with people now. Not that I want to interact with people. So I end up starting like a Be Motivate. First, I went to college and the college shut down. Then I started the Be Motivation to help me connect with people. But I kept running into obstacles. Of course, we all know how people are on the internet. We can't trust everybody, right? We just can't. So a lot of my stuff started getting denied, but I didn't let that stop me. I found other ways to try to connect with others, to motivate and inspire other people, which is what my goal was. So I just kept moving through and finding a way. And to this day, I still post them. Not as much as I used to because I'm more moving into the speaking and mentoring, but I do still post them. It is a thing, it is a movement, and it's called Be Motivation. I just write quotes, and that's on my Instagram. That's under Inspire to Motivate. Inspire to Motivate, and that's where you'll find the Be Motivation at. Quotes.
Inspired to Motivate on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, I love your poetry. And I think, one of the speeches that I was able to watch on TikTok was about the poetry, that you wrote. So here's the thing about, the work that you do, which is much needed right now. A lot of people, as you say, their lives changed. I mean, and we're not doing work or living the same way that we used to do things. There's a whole new way of doing things and new way of living. Is your audience mainly women, or do you work with men and women and children? What is your population?
My audience for one-on-one personal growth development is mainly women. Between the ages, I would say 35 and 55. But I have two different audience. That whole niche down to one is really hard to do for a creative, right? It's so hard to do. So I had the second niche, which is for the entrepreneurs. So the first one is the one-on-one, where a lot of my talks come from, the healing, the getting past the struggles and all that great stuff. And then I have the entrepreneurs that I work with, which is male or female.
Okay.
And that's more bringing in that creative aspect of your business. It's bringing in that creative spunk. It's help you be innovative and think outside of the box. And that's probably between the ages more of 30 and 40.
Okay. 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 So with the work that you're doing now, you said you started in 2020. What were
Mhm.
you doing before that, and what ignited this huge transformation that you decided to do from 2020 until now?
Okay, so when I said I was isolated, I isolated myself for
Mhm.
5 years. So I didn't do anything before the pandemic.
Wow.
I literally was in a depression
Yeah.
and I just stayed home. It was right before the pandemic hit. I was coming out of that depression.
Okay.
And that was kind of a setback because, okay, we can't get out and do anything. So, but before I went into what put me into depression is I had a retreat business in Costa Rica for 3 years. And I was used to living in Costa Rica. So when I came back to the United States, it kind of put me in this depression because everything was so big, moving so fast, and the food tastes so different, and people were so different. So, and the environment, just the environment. I love nature.
Yeah.
So the environment was different. It was just cars and everything. So I actually literally went into a depression from culture shock. And
Yes.
so when I decided to come out, it's been a long-term dream, an assignment, really. We're really going to say an assignment that I was told to do years ago before like years ago. But I had this fear, and the fear is because I'm telling personal stories from the family. So, the shame from the family, or the guilt that they put you on, and don't put me in your stories, and don't be sharing
Ye-
family stories where
Yep.
people can hear these things. And
Yep.
so it stopped me for so many years to doing that, and I kept busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it was during the pandemic when I found my voice. And since then, I started off writing. I did not show up for my face. I would just write poetry. Then I would write poetry and things for other people. And then then I started getting some coaching. And it wasn't until my dad's death that I actually got in front of people and spoke for the very first time, like live in a serious talk.
Yes. 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 Isn't it interesting that when we tell our own story, because then, yes, the family name is there, the family members are there, but that is my story and what I'm seeing in it, that in all cultures, literally, they find it shameful and they find it
Mhm.
scary for one to tell their story. And then as a result, we can bring the best version of ourselves out, because then I can't say what I feel, what I see, what I experienced, because I'm trying to protect
Mhm.
those that have been there before me, right?
Right.
And then we're
Mhm.
talking about self-confidence as the big difference maker in everything that we do, that you've got to be confident and able to stand up for yourself, to speak up for yourself, to feel what you feel, express what you express, and then find that what, which works for you in there, right? So I'm
Mhm.
so excited that you are brave enough not only to have gone through your own fears and said, you know what? I'm going to step out there because this is my story. Because
Mhm.
my intention is not to hurt anyone,
Right.
but my intention is to come out, like you're saying, from this shell, from this depression, and come out and live my life, right?
Mm. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I didn't do it alone. I do advocate for therapists. I
Yeah,
had to work with a therapist. There was no way I
that
could
part.
right. There is no way I could have dealt with and went back and looked at these things to bring them up so that I can get them out. They're always going to still be there, but I'm able to look at it differently. It's not, it doesn't affect me emotionally like it used to. it's just a memory and it's a lesson that I can share with someone else.
Yes. Thank you for plugging in that therapy because as you know, I'm not only a coach and, speaker myself, but I am a mental health, therapist. And that is one thing that I am so excited about. Nobody was happy about COVID, right? But for us therapists, we were so excited about COVID. I mean, I hate to say it this way, right? But we were so excited because then there's a lot of healing that is happening because of COVID. Because of COVID, we
Mhm.
found more people than we could ever think of reaching out for therapy and saying, I need to talk. So what started off as just the COVID, what do I do now? I don't know what I'm doing, helped us to go back and really, really dig deeper and bring healing so that people now, when they show up now post-COVID, they're showing up a whole different person, a whole person actually, because now they get to know themselves and they're confident enough to say, it's okay to be me, because that's pretty much what you did. You went ahead and did the work to say, it's okay to be me in whatever shape, form that I come in and the work that I want to do. And once you find yourself, it's very important to everybody to understand. Once you find yourself, let us reach out to the billions of others that have not yet found the work. So that's where now you come in and help others find themselves as well, right? Yeah.
Yep,
So are you
yep.
doing the Costa Ricas? Are you going back and getting the retreat centers ready? What's happening
So
with those?
I don't own a retreat center anymore, but I want
Okay.
to start doing retreats and partnering with people who own places.
Okay.
And the three locations I'm kind of looking at is Costa Rica, Curacao,
Mm.
and Belize. And the reason why I like Curacao and Belize so much, more than just the things you can do in the beaches and all that great stuff, is the English speaking.
Oh,
It's so much easier to navigate when you can speak the language. Even though
okay.
I lived in Costa Rica, I know a little bit of Spanish. I don't know, it's just easier to navigate.
Oh, okay. So tell me, are those individual retreats that you're going to be doing, or you're looking for entrepreneurs that are putting together their retreats and come through you? Let me just
I'm
clarify.
doing a little bit of both,
Okay.
actually. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing a little bit of both. I'm looking to partner with people to do retreats.
Okay.
And then I'm also looking to host my own retreats.
Okay.
But I really want to get into the partner. You can't, because I'm gonna have to bring people on. I can't really do it all by myself. And I don't want to do it all by
I
myself.
don't
Why should
blame you.
I have all the fun, right?
I
Just share
don't
that
blame
fun
you.
with somebody else. So I definitely
Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration.
Yes, I don't
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
do it by myself. So, yes, I do plan on collaborating, whether it's something that I kind of put together or whether somebody else put something together
Okay.
and we can collaborate.
Okay. Okay. Now, for those that are looking to work with you, tell us a little bit of, what it is that you are looking for, or if they're looking for you, what are they looking for those that want to reach out to you?
All right. So if you want to work with me as your personal discovery mentor, I
Okay.
can work with you one on one. All my personal discovery mentoring programs are all one on one because it's mentoring. We get a little bit more personal, and
Okay.
I do life with you. So it's not just one set goal. It's everything so that you can accomplish that goal. It's getting to know your core values. It's getting to know who you are. It's aligning everything up so that your energy is aligned. So I do one-on-ones with those, and you can reach me through my Facebook page. And in my Facebook page, you'll find the links, and that's at TammyRenee Maxwell. And then for my creative brainstorming, I do also creative brainstorming sessions when I work with entrepreneurs. And this is about setting goals. So I call it a 3x3 goal setting. It's a
Okay.
little different than what people are used to, but it's still the same results. And it's a way that I set my goals where we work on one goal and we find the actions from our core values to match the goal so that you're aligning with the goal. And it makes it more enjoyable. It makes it more meaningful because you're matching your core values. So we do that in the creative brainstorming, and we do, look at the tools that you have before you go out and keep spending money on another coach or another product or another something. Creatively coming up with ways to scale your business, to keep growing in your business with the tools that you already have. So that's how I work with the entrepreneurs. And then I work one-on-one personally, more intimate with the mentoring.
Okay, so as a speaker, tell us a little bit more about you as a speaker and what people, topics that you speak on that you might want to share.
Okay, yes, as a speaker, and if you are looking for a speaker, hit me up at TammyRenee.co. Not .com, is .co. You will find all of my speaking information on there. One of my talks is What is to Your Why? And it's about introspection. It's looking at introspection and doing a mind shift, taking introspection to the next level, making it more proactive. When you start to ask yourself what, then you get more direct direction. You can get more to the heart of what you need to do to change things instead of asking yourself why. And then the other talk that I do is the inner motivation, intrinsic motivation, the power we hold within ourselves. And that is about pulling out those tools to help guide you to creating the life that you want, to living on purpose. So those are the main two that I do, and I'm putting one together now that will target entrepreneurs that are starting off, to show the journey, to show the strength that you have to have, and the obstacles that we face.
Yeah. So, Miss Tammy, I hate, to round this up because then it's when it's starting to get, like it's exciting. So I'm going to ask you some exciting questions, as we end this, just to get to know you better. What's your favorite color?
Oh, my favorite color is orange.
Orange. Okay. And what is your word for the year? We are doing this in 2024. So for 2024, what is that one word?
Intentional.
Intentional. Whoa. Okay. And song of the year.
Unstoppable.
There you go. Okay. All right. It's just a fun part of the interview where, let me just ask you about this here. And then, so I've got the song
that
of
was
the
fun.
year, word of the year, and you've got, so your best color is orange, right? And your best quote, I was going to ask that, your best quotation that you have that you like.
It has recently changed.
Okay.
So my best quote right now is, if you want to be the leader of your dreams, you need to know what your dreams are.
Very powerful. Any last words that you would like to tell our audience as we part?
Just keep moving forward, believe in yourself. Make sure you're putting up boundaries and not walls, because when we put those walls up, we block things from coming in and going out. So put up your boundaries, believe in yourself, keep moving forward, and have a great day, and keep your faith.
Whoa, perfect. I want to end this with Miss TammyRenee's quote that you can see from her background. This quote says, "There's no time like the now to see your future in front of your eyes." What I take away from this interview is she is one lady that is unstoppable. She is one lady that says, if I can do it, you can do it. If I could get out of a 5-year depression and fought myself out of it, and now I'm enjoying the best life ever and living the best life. And what I take from it is living her best life means helping other people live their own best life, helping other people find their own future. So do get in touch with Miss TammyRenee. Those that want to do retreats, if you're looking for a speaker, phenomenal speaker, she is a speaker and also a personal coach that you can work with one-on-one. And don't forget, she is one of our best-selling authors for Bounce Back Book 1. Yay! Thank you again, Miss Tammy. It's always a pleasure seeing you and talking to you.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.